place for the countrymen. It's a good touch by Salah. First time by Henderson. Again, trying to switch it, as you pointed out, Stuart. And working the right to get the left side free. Fabinho. Matic steps forward. Alexander-Arnold. Salah. Again, it's Diaz this time. Drops forward. Picked up by Thiago. The pass out to Salah. Alexander-Arnold! First blood to Liverpool. Well, we said he makes goals, but does score some as well. And he's proved that point in the Community Shield.
Well, a couple of big switches of play. Came out to the left-hand side, then went back to the right-hand side. And it was set up nicely for Alexander-Arnold. Just to whip it in with his right foot here. There's the run from Robertson through the centre-forward position. Left space for Luis Diaz. The back four for Man City are very narrow. That's why the switch of play was on to Mo Salah. And then Rodri can't get out. Does it take a deflection? Nathan Ake tried to get his head onto it. But it's a very good finish in the end. Let's have a look from this angle. I'm not sure he does get a touch. It's just the perfect finish from a top-class player on the ball. Alexander-Arnold.
A message to the Manchester City fans, and maybe he's a player of enormous ability, but he sometimes finds himself on the wrong end of criticism for his defensive attributes or lack of them. As an attacking right back, he's up there with the very, very best. And he's just proved that point, whether it's given Nathan Ake's the top of his head or not. It was Alexander-Arnold's goal, and Liverpool, who were the side forcing setting the agenda here.
They have looked the sharper side in this first period of the game. Mo Salah, Alexander-Arnold, and it's Diaz.
And Manchester City, meeting at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. Themselves really on the wrong end of most of the game. Let's have a look again. Okay, there's a little touch, but we're not going to call that an own goal.
I don't think it actually diverted the path of the ball. Edison was never getting there. Very good start from Liverpool.
Here's Grealish. And almost decided goal for Erling Haaland. Nathan Ake, who gave away the penalty by which Manchester City lost the Community Shield a year ago. He's played a minor role in them being behind here. I've got to applaud the Liverpool boss.
See, Liverpool had more of the shots, 5-2, but only one on target.
And here's De Bruyne with a chance to equalise. Another widening angle. He's trying to squeeze it in at that near post and didn't quite connect with the full power.
Great pass from Mahrez here. The weight of the pass to go beyond Van Dijk. And for some reason, he doesn't hit through the back of the ball. He tries to pass it into the near post. It's a big miss from Kevin De Bruyne.
And here goes Henderson. Diaz, the spare man is Bobby Firmino, but it went a little bit behind him. I would have liked that just at least at him.
Henderson's
preferably in front of him.
Yeah, Henderson made one or two very good runs from midfield. He ran beyond Mo Salah. Firmino never really looked as though he was going to get away from his man or open up the space to get the shot away. And any conviction.
Top speaking extremely warmly about Roberto Firmino, saying he's the heart and soul of the club. Because he didn't always play last season, he had injuries. And as Diaz, as we said, hit the ground running. Manchester City have got to do some running here. Grealish. Stopped by Fabinho, hoovering up as he does in front of the back four. Firmino. Time for Diaz to bring the ball down, do a bit of juggling, and then get at Manchester City. Supported by Robertson. Matip. Recovering from the slip.
He's the man that's actually set the tone for the first half, I would say. Mo Salah, his first couple of runs with the ball, runs off the ball as well.
It's true, I think many people saw the exit of Gabriel Jesus, who was never quite the number one for the very big games for Manchester City. But Raheem Sterling, how did you see that departure? Did you expect it?
To a certain degree, you could see it coming for quite some while. Raheem Sterling didn't look particularly happy over the course of the last 18 months. He didn't always get the backing of the manager either. I think his time at Man City had probably run, and it should be a good move for him. I fully understand why Guardiola got the money for him and brought in Haaland.
Sterling, who came to Manchester City from Liverpool. And here's De Bruyne getting behind Liverpool. Thiago in the right place to make sure Grealish wasn't picked out with a cutback.
Going back to what we were talking, maybe he saw that this was the season Grealish had to really come to the fore. You mentioned he has, quite often when he gets players in the first season, they don't always play. He tries to get them into his style of football. Now Grealish has got the opportunity to start games out on that left-hand side where Sterling normally played.
Ake. So we've been flattish from Manchester City, but not quite enough really from them. Julian Alvarez, who reminds me a bit of Ferran Torres, who of course was at Manchester City and left during last season, at the start of last season. He's from River Plate in Argentina, signed there in January and then loaned back. He's another attacking option and another reason perhaps why Raheem Sterling was moved on.
Well, he only came on for the second half against Bayern Munich in that pre-season game. He's got electric pace. His movement was excellent. He looks a real find, I would say.
Walker still going. Klopp will be annoyed if this leads to a City equaliser. Powerful break, typical break from Kyle Walker. Thiago, not for the first time in this game, defending capably. Pre-season for the officials as well. Coming up to match speed, a few of the old guard of the end of their run as Premier League match visitors of Mike Dean, John Moss. There goes Alexander-Arnold, but Ederson easily there before him. coming up to the half-an-hour mark. It's been pretty much full throttle from Liverpool and Manchester City. And the Community Shield at stake. Rodri.
Liverpool don't mind this. Their pressing's good here. They've got in numbers. Man City's struggling to get out.
Well, Liverpool have played more than twice as many matches as Manchester City. Could that be a factor in the way this first half an hour's gone?
Yeah, they do look a bit sharper. They have had more minutes under their belts.
They did lose, of course, 4-0 to Manchester United. There's no flag here. There's Riyad Mahrez here. And it's turned aside by Adrian. And wondering why the flag didn't go up. Because it was clearly offside.
But you don't mind Mahrez trying to make those runs, so often he stays wide. Liverpool holding a high line, just made his run a fraction too early. Hits it with power. Straight at Adrian.
Yes, Liverpool lost 4-0 to Manchester United. And they lost their last game to RB Salzburg. In between, some very good performances together. And of course, it's not all about winning in pre-season. It's the kind of preparation to get the good start that everybody needs, especially the sides that are expected to go and challenge for the title. And there's two more sides in that respect than these two. Cancelo got in quickly. And the flag is up.
I don't think the referee's noticed it just yet. And the ball did go to Grealish. He was in an offside position. He won't be overly pleased with the first 32 minutes. He will be.
Yeah, but he won't be taking anything for granted. That's for sure. Thiago. Lucky to get a second bite at that. Matip. That's the straightforward one over the top. Over the top of Kyle Walker. Given away by Alexander-Arnold.
That's the run of Luis Diaz again, outside to in.
It's 3 against 2 for a moment here in Manchester City's favour. And can Erling Haaland gets his shot in. Adrian saves. Good strength to hold off the defender. Not the finish that is expected of the Norwegian, but maybe one here. And then Mahrez. Frustration for Erling Haaland. There you go. I knew I'd do it once.
Oh, could he have gone with his head for the second one? As you mentioned, he finds the space here. Robertson's coming back. He shows good strength to hold him off, but he's just falling over. Not the composure with the finish. And this one, I thought he was going to dive, try and get it with his head. Instead, he goes with the outside of his left boot. Probably not the right decision on that occasion.
Everybody wanted him. All the big clubs you could ever think of naming were trying to get that release clause activated. Headed back by Ake. 51 and a bit £1 million. Fantastic value. Of course, the release clause that was set when he joined Borussia Dortmund, and it looked obsolete after a few weeks, really.
Going back to his first 3 games, he came on as a second half substitute and scored a hat-trick in something like 13-14 minutes. And then came on as a sub in the second game and scored a couple of goals. And he actually started a game and scored a couple of goals. He got Player of the Month in the Bundesliga.
Actually, a goal a game in international football with Norway. Cancelo, Grealish, De Bruyne, and Van Dijk shepherds it back to Adrian.
That's maybe where he might need to just show up, become a link-up player. Kevin De Bruyne got it on the edge of the box, and Haaland needed to show up on that occasion. He was actually almost in behind Van Dijk.
10 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool lead at Leicester. Ruben Diaz. Missed the back end of last season, and now Aymeric Laporte, who filled in well for him. He's going to miss the first few weeks of this campaign. There's a talk about an incoming left-back, Marc Cucurella, of Brighton and Hove Albion, has put in a transfer request. Manchester City have a vacancy. Zinchenko gone to Arsenal. And Brighton held out for a good price for the player they sold a year ago, Ben White. And I'm sure they'll do the same. If Manchester City really want Cucurella, they're going to have to pay the going rate. Brighton's going rate.
She's near enough to £50 million, I think.
Rodri. Walker. Liverpool into their stride, the quicker of the two. Manchester City with damage to repair, and the presence of a genuine goal scorer in the middle is a bit different. A whole list of false number 9s. Pep Guardiola, he's a real one trying to get there.
Good play from Cancelo down that left-hand side. He's had a tough first half up against Mo Salah, but that's him at his best. Great pace. It's a good crosser of the ball, both with his right.